Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Clan Sakai Major League video for 2026. And today we're going to be taking a look over our lower division Major 1 at our elimination round 3 quarterfinals match 7. So yeah, we're gonna be watching a banger today between two teams that are looking to advance to the next round, and they are looking for a redemption arc. As for both of these teams, is going to be Wieners versus Team 7, or should I say Team 7 versus Wieners, because they came from the elimination bracket. And I welcome all of you today to this banger match that we're gonna be seeing soon. I'm gonna be your host, Aries, today, joined by the Capybara. And today is going to be probably one of the most underdog story matches in recorded history between Wieners and Team 7. As we take a look at our leaderboards here, Team 7, they're the number 2nd seed in this tournament, and Wieners are the number 8th seed, so really not the best performance coming in from the Wieners though, but they did take down Apex Gaming, and they need to take down Team 7 in order to close out this tournament. Team 7 looking to get a redemption arc after losing to Doe Academy in the semifinals of the winners bracket here. As you take a look at our leaderboards, not leaderboards, our bracket over here, Team 7 have to face off against Wieners in order to secure a spot against Super Saiyan Jams. And then that's going to be the video right after this one right here. And it's going to be a crazy one. Now, Wieners did struggle a little bit against Apex Gaming, but I think they still have the motivation and confidence to take down a powerhouse roster known as Team 7. They are the 2nd seed in this tournament after making it pretty far in the qualifiers, but I think they could do it. I think the Wieners could beat Team 7 here. But as you already remember, if you looked at our votes here, we all went with Team 7 to actually win this match against Wieners. I think they're overall the better team, and I think they just have a lot of strengths and a lot of power in this match, so I believe they have what it takes to beat that roster overall. But yeah, it's going to be a banger. Can't wait to see what these teams got. Team 7, I'm not sure if, I think they are playing with the same roster, but I think they have new boss in, except for Koi Koi, so that is, I think that's their forever. We'll take a look. We'll take a look on what we can see here. But yeah, it's going to be a fun match overall. Wieners with the number 8 seed fighting for survival against a powerhouse roster known as Team 7. As you remember, Team 7, they used to struggle back then in the league in 2025, but now they're back looking for a redemption arc. Take a look at the players here. It's going to be Goofy Goober, Breadstick, and New Boss. So New Boss is going to be holding up for Koi, and then it's going to be Adam, Envy, and Neptile for Wieners. So yeah, pretty good roster out. Looks like gonna have New Boss being played in, and Koi Koi is gonna be sitting out for this match. And yeah, it's going to be a fight for the losers semifinals. As we take a look at our maps here, it's going to be Bell's Rock, Rings of Fire, Sneaky Fields, Shooting Stars, and Double Shoes. So a pretty good map for Wieners here. And if you look at the percentage here, 75% to 25. And people think that Team 7 are actually gonna take down Wieners. Well, we'll see what's going to happen in this match here. This is actually Wiener's best map on Bell's Rock. They have a pretty good win rate in this match, but we'll see. As we now get started with our set 1 knockout, Bell's Rock. Alright, from Team 7 versus Wieners. Looking at the draft is going to be a Griff, Piper, and a Ziggy going against a Mina, Rico, and a Brock. I'm really liking the comps from both teams. I think Breadstick, is going to be pretty good on the Ziggy, and a nice gadget from Goofy Goober already. And right now, it looks like the control is going to be going in favor of Team 7. And Envy, really looking to get some openings off of Breadstick, but really has to be careful, because if Envy pushes up a little bit too much, right, Goofy Goober is able to get a little bit more tags onto Envy. But I mean, it could potentially happen if Envy has pretty good movement. But Breadstick is gonna get pretty low here. This could be a little bit dangerous, and Envy tries to go for an aggressive play. It's gonna get shut down, unfortunately. Adam trying to get some tags off of Goofy Goober and a good super from Neptile. And now New Boss is the only one alive alongside Breadstick. Supers are going to go down from Adam. A lot of rockets coming down. Looks like he's going to be running the more rocket star power. The Neptile could really clean this one up, but it has to be careful because New Boss is going to get some pretty good tags. Super goes out from Ziggy. It's going to force Neptile to get damaged for a perfect gadget from Neptile, and that's going to give them the first round. Wieners looking like they're playing more of an end game type of comp here, but they really need to make sure Neptile like gets pretty good tags. And you know, Goofy Goober, you know, really wants to make sure he can get a pretty good gadget off of Neptile and get like a pretty good assist kill from Breadstick. But here, there's a gadget, but doesn't really get any assist with it. But you have to be careful because MV was kind of holding that back. Goofy Goober get it aggressive. Adam has a super. It's gonna throw down the hypercharge and a beautiful super from Adam, and that's going to give them the lead in this round. Breadstick just trying to stay alive, needs to get some connections, and New Boss, the only brawler left for Team 7, and Wieners are actually playing pretty good in this set overall, and a beautiful trade from Adam, and that's going to give Wieners the first game. A pretty good game overall coming in from Team Wieners as Team 7 actually drops the first round against the Wieners. You know, I'm really telling you, but like Wieners are the dark horse of this tournament. They're like a team that you just can't sleep on, but they could take rounds and potentially sets off of like some pretty good teams. I mean, you could look at Doe and Wieners for example, but Doe was still able to secure the win, but they were able to take a set. But as we now get on with our game 2, Breadstick struggling a little bit towards Adam, and you know, Adam's getting some pretty good tags. And I do like the wall break from Adam. You know, that really makes Envy be able to hide in the back very safely, not having to worry about anyone except for Ziggy. But, you know, it's going to be hard when you got a Gray Gadget and a Piper that can have some pretty good angles. And, you know, Breadstick trying to go for the connection onto Neptile. Doesn't really get too much. Adam wants to find an opening and a beautiful kill from Envy. And now Goofy Goober, you know, has to be very careful because Adam could just throw down the supers and, you know, grab a little bit more space. And here comes Envy. Tries to go for a kill onto Breadstick. Is actually going to successfully kill him. And now Goofy Goober just gets shut down here. And this is looking like a really good game coming in from Wieners. I mean, they got the first round, and now they got the first game, and they could really close out the set early. But they're still not over yet. Breadstick wants to get some connections off of MV. MV has to find it opening onto somebody. His New Boss is going to be breaking the map. MV trying to get aggressive onto Breadstick, and Neptile is going to go for the super change, but does get shut down. Over aggressive by too much. Goofy Goober just trying to stay alive, and Adam is going to place down the hypercharged super and didn't really hit anybody with it. But ooh, hold up, Adam's getting some pretty good tags and a nice kill onto New Boss, but MV is left with a 1v2. Can he close this one out? He has a super to make a plays, but has to play carefully. Wants to look for an opening, but needs to stay alive. Beautiful dodges coming from Envy, keeping his teammates alive. I mean, keeping himself alive, but it's gonna get shut down by Goofy Goober. Now, Goofy Goober has a hypercharge, and he could also do the gray long tool if you really think about it, if he just hits it perfectly. But right now, it looks like Team 7, you know, playing a little bit of a stalemate game. Wanted to wait to the end game and just play off of the Ziggy super, because you know the Ziggy can take a lot of space. And look at Goofy Goober, goes for a gadget, doesn't really get anything, but a nice kill from New Boss, which secures the kill. And now this is going to be a little bit of a dangerous game. Goofy Goober gets a nice kill, and now it's only up to MV once again. And yeah, this is looking like a Team 7 round here, and MV can't really do too much, but might just go down. And that's going to be a Team 7 game as they will be taking game number 2. Better game coming in from Team 7 here. And now let's see if they're able to close out the set. You know, Wieners were looking dominated in the first round, but Team 7 is starting to come back just by a little bit. And the game is still not over yet. Now MV has to worry about Breadstick. You know, Breadstick got this gadget and the tags off of MV, and now he just really needs to look for an opening. Now New Boss is actually diffing the Brock on the lane, and the Brock just needs to play perfectly. Now nice gadget from Goofy Goober, and that's gonna give Team 7 a little bit of a lead of a brawler advantage. And Breadstick just looking for some connections, wants to find some angles, and MV's getting a little aggressive, and a nice kill from MV onto Breadstick. But now it's only up to the Piper. The Goofy Goober is gonna have to protect this Piper, but it looks like the Brock is not able to follow up with the pinch. But it looks like Adam went for the super, and now New Boss was able to get out of it. Goofy Goober has a super, is gonna shut down Adam. Ooh, nice kill from Adam. Just about ping diff the Goofy Goober, and now New Boss is only left by himself. This take down Adam, but Envy is able to secure the kill. Pretty close game overall. Now the games are going to be played a little bit slowly as Wieners gonna have to get this next game in order to close out this set. Reptile looking for some connections off New Boss, but has to play very cautiously. And Breadstick, you know, trying to hold down Envy in the back, and Neptile trying to find a little bit of an opening overall, and Adam is going to place down the super. Doesn't really get too much with it. Goofy Goober goes for the gadget. New Boss is trying to get the connection, but doesn't really get too much out of it. And now it's going to be a bit of a slow game. Neptile does have a super to work with. Now this could be a little bit dangerous because Neptile could do crazy work with that super. Goofy Goober just trying to stay alive. Neptile has to play very carefully, and a beautiful super to shred down Goofy Goober. And the Ziggy will be going down, and now it's a 1v2. Can New Boss clutch this one up? Wants to find a connection, but it is not going to be enough, as Team Wieners will be taking the first set off of Team 7. A beautiful start coming in from Wieners, as they will be taking the first set off of Team 7. And now this is going to be a bit of a dangerous game coming in from Team 7. Oof. My bad, I was just drinking some brisk. But yeah, Wieners will be taking the first set. Now let's see if Team 7 could clutch up in this next round. They know that Wieners is definitely a threat in this match, but let's get on with set 2. Alright, here we go with our set number 2 between Team 7 and Wieners. As we take a look at the draft, it's going to be a Cord, Bell, and a Chester going against a Fang, Melody, and a Chuck. Oh, alright, pretty interesting comms coming in from both teams. I think Goofy Goober is going to be going on this train over here. You know, he could do some really crazy work on it, but yeah, looks like he's getting the post set up, but Wieners have the control in the middle. Goofy Goober goes for a nice, beautiful super, and almost took down like a quarter half of the team. New Boss has the super to merc with, so he could do some crazy damage. Wants to try to catch Envy off guard, but Bell trying to hold down the middle. Here comes Goofy Goober, goes for a play and a beautiful super to keep them alive, and now New Boss is going to go aggressive onto Adam, and now Envy looking to catch Breadstick off guard is actually getting a really good kill, and Goofy Goober just going crazy on the train, holding down the middle as much as he can, but Neptile has to play really dangerous. Goofy Goober goes for a super play, doesn't really get too much out of it. Now Breadstick left alone. Let's see if he's able to make something happen. Goofy Goober is going to activate the hypercharge, and that's going to do a lot of damage to hold down the middle, and now it's only up to New Boss to stay alive. Does have a hypercharge to work with, is going to tag up Adam by a little bit, and here he goes, tries to go for something, but does get shut down. Breadstick has a super play, could do some crazy damage, and actually does secure some kills, but Goofy Goober is still on the zone. Does get tagged up by the Bell, and is going to get marked, but now Goofy Goober does get shut down, unfortunately. Breadstick trying to go for a play, a beautiful super from Breadstick, but just tries to use it against Envy, but Envy's able to close that one out. The mute is going to be perfect from Envy, and now they just need to stall some time. Chester has a super, and Adam has a hypercharge. This could be a good one going in from Envy. They just need to hold down the middle and hold the control in a perfect realm from Envy, and the mark is going to go on to New Boss. New Boss just has to stay alive. This gets shut down. It's only up to Breadstick, though, because Envy is playing it so perfectly right now. Team Wieners are holding down the middle, but I don't think it's going to be enough time as Team Wieners take this round, and it is looking dangerous for Team 7. Wieners taking the first game. This could be a bit of a unfortunate game coming in from Team 7, as Wieners are starting to look very strong in the set overall. But let's see what they could do in this next game. Can they hold that momentum? So hold on to the middle here. Goofy Goober just getting the post set up and tries to go for some tags, but has another post to work with, and is going to aim it right onto the left, and now Envy's just going down the middle. Now this is where the problem happens, right? Now Breaststick needs to get a little bit more tags, right? And try to cycle as many Fang supers as he can. But Envy on this chord, right? You know, really just focusing on countering the Chuck. And New Boss can't really do too much if the realm of the chord gets a nice realm onto him, because you know he could just like run back and just tag edge them off and stuff. But Adam is gonna run down and mark Goofy Goober, and that's already a clean kill. But here comes Breadstick, goes for a nice super, can go for more, and a beautiful team wipe from Breadstick. But now Team 7 have a little bit of control, but can they hold it though? Okay, New Boss gets some nice tags onto Neptile. Envy goes for a play, doesn't really get too much out of it, and New Boss just trying to run down to the middle. Adam gets a nice kill. Goofy Goober is only the one alive. Does get shut down though, because MV is able to realm him down, and now Breadstick gets a nice kill, and they're starting to catch up by a little bit, 45% to 61. Now the game's going to be played a little bit slowly. Goofy Goober goes in for the middle, does get shut down unfortunately. MV goes for the hypercharge play, and a beautiful hyper from MV, and Neptile just trying to slow down the time. But Goofy Goober goes for a play, tries to get as much damage as he can, and this is looking like a really bad game coming in from Team 7, because they need to get some zone time. MV looking to close this set out. They're actually playing this a bit perfect, because Team Wieners could close this one. A nice round from MV, but now it's they all lost about like half of their teammates. MV tries to go for a play. This gets shut down. Adam needs to hold down the middle, because Team 7 are starting to catch up by a little bit, and it's looking dangerous. Goofy Goober needs to heal up. A perfect super from Breadstick, but can they close this one out? MV goes for the play, tries to get something. The Neptile does get shut down here, and Team 7 looking to close this game with a game win, and it's 90% to 82. All wieners are starting to show up. Can they close this one out? Goofy Goober tries to go for a play, and it's only up to MV. Can he needs to realm New Boss here, and this is going to be a dangerous and perfect dodge. Does get the kill, but Breaststick just runs right in there, and 100% to 95. And now Team 7 clutch up this game. A beautiful game coming in from Team 7 as they are fighting for a redemption arc here. And now let's see if they're able to close this next round up. Goofy Goober is going to place down the post onto the top. Now MV looking to do whatever he can. And beautiful super from Goofy Goober. Is able to dodge the ball mark. Breaststick goes for a beautiful super off of Neptile, and now Adam is the only one in the middle. New Boss just trying to hold down the mid. MV has to play this a bit carefully and can't really, you know, do too much out of it. And Neptile goes for a play, and Breadstick just trying to stay alive. Don't want to do too much overall, but Neptile, you know, really wants to get this hypercharge off of Goofy Goober. You know, just really to cycle up for the hypercharge, and a beautiful mark from Adam, which is going to keep New Boss from pushing up, and a beautiful kill from Team Wieners as they take the first control of the map. But now they gotta play careful. Goofy Goober goes for the aggressive play, and this is a beautiful wipe coming in from Team 7, and Wieners is gonna get shut down. But now, let's see if they're able to make something happen. Breadstick goes for an aggression play and can't really do too much out of it. Envy gets a nice round. Can he take New Boss with him? Doesn't really get too much out of it. Neptile, the only one alive. Can he close this one out? Doesn't really get too much out of it. Adam trying to kill Breadstick. It goes for a beautiful super from Breadstick. That's going to, you know, close out the game by a little bit, but Goofy Goober is holding down the middle, and you know, Neptile is going to activate the hypercharge, goes for the play onto New Boss, just shutting down. Breadstick has a hypercharge to work with, could probably use it right here, and it's a beautiful super, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Neptile is still in the middle. Goofy Goober activates the hypercharge, gets two beautiful kills off of Adam and Neptile. Envy goes for the round play, tries to take down New Boss, but I don't think it's going to be enough as Team 7 clutches on up, and they will be taking the third game as they will be tying up the sets to 1-1. This has been a perfect game coming in from Team 7 as we take a look at our stats here. MB is going to be the MVP for this match, but Goofy Goober is doing pretty good on that train. Chuck, you know, it's looking pretty good overall. But yeah, the score is now going to be 1-1, and whoever takes this next set is going to be in the lead. But yeah, it's going to be a crazy match overall as we now get started with our set 3 of Sneaky Fields Brawl Ball. Who will be taking the set? Alright, so now get started with set 3. Taking a look at the draft, it's going to be a Bull, BB, and a Chester going against a Doug, Edgar, and a Charlie. You know, really liking the comp from Team 7 here. And oh my god, they already get the score. Oh my god, beautiful gameplay coming in from Goofy Goober. And that's already going to give Team 7 the first goal now. I think I just play this a bit of a slow game. Breastplate goes for aggressive play, doesn't really get too much out of it. And now here comes Goofy Goober going crazy at the Edgar, but this gets shut down. The Bull could get some pretty good defense, and Breastplate is going to use the super to stay alive. MV tries to go for aggressive play. It does take down Breadstick, and now this is going to be a close game. Tries to go for the super play from New Boss, but I think he could have really saved it because I don't think he was going to make that. But yeah, Goofy Goober has to hypercharge, waiting for an opportunity onto MB. Is going to throw it out to the air and goes for a beautiful super play. Tries to get more out of it, but doesn't really get too much out of it. Breastplate goes for a play, and now it's only up to Neptile. Just needs to hold down the save, and a beautiful trick shot from Breadstick as Team 7 will be taking this round. Team 7 is starting to come back a little bit more now. They're starting to see a little bit of the weakness of Team Wieners, and it is just starting to get a little dangerous for Wieners now. Now let's see if Team 7 could close this one out. And ooh, a perfect gadget from Goofy Goober. Now this is going to be a bit of an unfortunate game. Goofy Goober getting really aggressive, and now it's a beautiful walk-in from Breadstick as they will be taking that first goal. And Goofy Goober getting aggressive onto Adam, goes for the nice gadget, really pops up a lot of shots, and Goofy Goober try to go for the play, and Neptile is the only one alive, has to stay alive, but now beautiful from New Boss, and that might be able to close out the game as New Boss scores the game here, and now Team 7 with the 2-0 lead off of Wieners as they'll be taking 2 of those games and also be up 2-1 in the scoreline. Breadstick, you know, is going to be the MVP for that match, but what a speed run of a game in this match. That was beautiful from Team 7, but now they're going to be up 2-1 against Wieners, and Wieners have to clutch up this next game in order to tie things up. Starting to look a little dangerous overall coming in from Wieners, but they still have time to close this one out. As we now get started with our next set of Set 4 Shooting Stars of Bounty. Alright, as we now get started with our next game, Team Wieners have to close out this game in order to tie things up. And take a look at the draft. It's going to be an Edgar, Gray, and a Trunk going against a Byron, Piper, and a Colette. You know, pretty interesting comp from Team 7. And, you know, they really don't got too much range to work with. And I think, you know, MV Team Wieners could really just abuse the distance and really don't give Goofy Goober and Breadstick anything, and just farm some pretty good supers overall. But I feel like Wieners should be able to win this. They do have the Colette to work with. You know, Breadstick just trying to get aggressive. Goofy Goober goes for a play, doesn't really get too much out of it. Does kill Adam though, and now Goofy Goober looks for more, but now the stars are going to be in favor of Team Wieners. A beautiful play from Breadstick, tries to go for the kill, but does get traded out overall. 8-6 stars, and you know, Team 7 are actually playing this pretty good overall. I mean, they're getting the tags they need, and they're getting the damage. New Boss goes for aggressive play, and that's going to be beautiful coming in from Breadstick. And now Team 7 are actually in the lead, and they're, you know, they're really just playing for the gray super. You know, Goofy Goober goes for the aggressive play, a beautiful super from Adam to keep Goofy Goober back, and now Breadstick is waiting for the connection. Now they really want to have the Colette onto Breadstick, and New Boss needs to get another super in order to get Breadstick to push up. And now Adam has to hypercharge. But the stars are still going to be in favor of Team 7, so they need to get a kill immediately. MV goes for aggressive play. New Boss tries to go for something, but doesn't really get too much out of it. And Goofy Goober is trying to find the Piper off guard, and this is going to be a beautiful kill from Goofy Goober. And now MV is going to get shut down with that pinch, and it's only up to Adam. Has the hypercharge, goes for a play, that gets shut down too. And Breadstick is trying to look for more, and a beautiful game coming in from Team 7 as they will be taking the first round, and they will also be on match point. Not looking so good right now for Wieners. They need to close out this game immediately, and this could be a dangerous game overall coming in from Team Wieners. And you know, now it's going to be a bit of a dangerous game overall. Has to find a opening. And now is looking to play the game slowly, as the stars is going to be in favor of Wieners. They really need to not give any openings for you know, Team 7. You know, they really want to try to get the Star League and just sit back and not do too much. And a beautiful super from Adam, but doesn't really get anything out of it. Goofy Goober tries to go aggressive, and a beautiful super from Adam. But fortunately, Byron does get shut down, though. And now that's going to give it a little bit of a Star lead for Team 7. And now, you know, Wiener's looking to go for a play, but they kind of have to play this a bit slow because, you know, the breadstick, you know, could do some serious damage. And here he comes, goes for the aggressive play, but does get gadget off, and really doesn't get anything out of it. Those 7 stars are going to be in favor of Wieners. Now they should be able to play this a bit slowly, not give Goofy Goober any value. And here comes Goofy Goober, tries to go for the kill. A nice super to Adam, and a beautiful team wipe from Team 7, but Adam just does stay alive, but could have really got the kill. 9-star lead, but the blue star goes in breadstick's favor. Team 7 just needs to play defense now. They can't really make too many big crazy plays. Neptiles is going to shut down here, and it's going to be dangerous one. Goofy Goober tries to go for aggressive play. Here comes the breadstick. Oh my god, what a blunder coming in from Wieners. And this is not looking like a good game for them, as they only need one more kill. New boss try to go for the gray long pull, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Adam has to play for his survival. MV's just trying to stay alive, doesn't really get too much out of it, and that's going to be all she wrote, as Team 7 will be closing out the tournament with a 3-1 and advances to the losers semifinals. Team 7 looking extremely strong right here, and Envy is going to be the MVP for that match, but I think Goofy Goober is definitely going to be the MVP overall. He had a fantastic game coming into this tournament. But yeah, Wieners will be eliminated at top 5, and now we see Team 7 advance into the loser semifinals to face off against Super Saiyan Jams. But that's going to wrap up our entire video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.